while since I talked about the show, X-Files. Yeah, because we started talking about that one as of now. This time I'm looking at just one, and yeah, like when it comes to a bit of the sci-fi shows, um, every show I'm gonna be looking at for this month is gonna be one of like yeah, like say maybe this time I'll be looking at this next episode of X-Files or blah 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 blah. So this episode we're looking at an episode called The Jersey Devil. This was actually the 5th episode, and this was also the second episode of that would be considered the monster that would be considered the monster of the week episode, especially at the episode Squeeze, and it would be the first to have been written by the creator Chris Carter. What happened in this episode? Well, in this episode, Mulder and Scully investigate seemingly candlelit murders in New Jersey, and the two they become across what seems to be an evolutionary rug, which may have inspired tales of the Jersey Devil. And if you're wondering, like, what I'm doing over here, I'm scratching my cat. I'm scratching my cat Lily's head. I'm gonna say that this episode opens up fairly well. Like it opens the mood for like say, hey, like say like, hey, what's going on here? Like say, what is this monster? Like, what is attacking folks and all that?
Honey, would you mind holding the light for a second?
Where are you? What happened?
And yeah, I kind of dig it. I kind of think the opening of the episode is pretty well. And at the same time, the episode does a good job of giving you, like, say, hey, like, maybe eventually, both Mulder and Scully will eventually, maybe their eventual relationship will eventually form. Because during the episode, Mulder, Scully, she ends up going to, a birthday for her godson, while Mulder goes on this bit of a mystery to try to figure out what's going on. And on this mission, like on this investigation, Scully he ends up going up against a detective in New Jersey who is like say he's like saying like, you're out of district, pal. You're not supposed to be here. I didn't call the FBI. And all that. And yeah, I kind of like the way that this episode is done. Like it tries to like say, okay, we're like usually most episodes of the show that are Monster of the Week episodes. The idea of it is in a way like say, hey, it changes a way. Like at first we are just like expecting a, you know, like a true like creature episode, but for this one, I kind of like the fact that the first introduction to the was known as the Jersey Devil is like Mulder ends up getting some information from a homeless man and like saying, hey, like be careful, and the devil basically we realize like it's actually a she, and getting taken away to the to the night at the jail because like say, hey, you seem to be crazy, and at the same time you're investigating our um our investigation. You're ruining it kind of deal. So Mulder and Scully they end up having a discussion with a I believe is an anthropologist and all that, trying to say, hey, what could be going on here, Professor, and all that. And I really thinking that, like, say, some shots of this episode, like, whether, like, say, the night shots of this episode are pretty good. The standout moments of, like, say, when we get the full reveal of the Jersey Devil, played by Claire Stanfield. And honestly, I gotta say that, like, yes, we're like, like, first we're given the idea of, like, say, hey, maybe the Jersey Devil might be more human than animal, and I think it's like it's trying to be a bit like, say, like a play on, like, say, like a spin on, like, what your expectations, because perhaps audiences at the time were probably thinking, like, say, a creature, and at the same time, when detectives are trying to be like, say, like, the main detective who was like, say, get out of my investigation, when they are chasing the Jersey Devil, to the forest, and she ends up getting killed.
You tried to take my arm off. Right there, right. Yeah, killed right there. I can't believe it. Lisa, you're trying to bury yourself. Believe me,
And in that moment, like, say, yes, like later Scully, Mulder ends up saying, like, hey, yeah, this is, she was just trying to protect her child and all that, and then I would say, like, say, yes, it's trying to, like, say, hey, we're actually, it's a story about, like, almost a mother trying to protect her child and all that at the end of it, because then we get a reveal, like, say, of the kid at the end of the episode. So, and this episode was too bad. I thought it was very entertaining. The shots of it were pretty good. The lighting was fairly well done. And overall, I thought it was a very entertaining episode. See you next time.